You're listening to Catholic Chicago. Ahead, the Archdiocese of Chicago brings you programs about the people, events, and issues that touch our lives. Welcome to Catholic Chicago.
Welcome to Catholic Chicago on WNDZ 750 AM, but today's special edition of Catholic Schools Today, 312-255-8408, 312-255-8408. You can also get us on youtube.com/Catholic Chicago. Father Greg Sakowicz, the rector of the cathedral, and co-host Mark Teresi. What a great weekend, Mark.
Really great weekend. Friday we had quite a Christmas celebration. Concert with Rich Daniels, City Lights Orchestra, a lot of soloists, Father Greg, who did a beautiful presentation on Nativity.
And then, you had two beautiful solos.
Well,
you did. And folks, Mark Teresi has a gorgeous tenor voice for years.
Well, it was an honor. When I think about singing a friend of mine mentioned it to me. You don't realize you sang the Ave Maria in honor of Mary. We have the new Mary statue, the original statue, in the cathedral. I said, I never thought of it. I always think of it as that's a prayer to Mary. I never thought of the scope of the place was full.
And see, but when you sing, you pray singing. You don't sing. You pray from the heart, and it shows externally and also that interior sense of prayer. Now, I'd say we had about 700 people.
Oh, plus.
Great crowd.
But it's interesting to me because you never think of chronology, but this is the 50th year that I've sung in church.
50?
50 years.
You started in the seminary.
Mm-hmm.
50 years, and your voice is as beautiful
Many
today.
parishes, Old St. Pat's, 8 years, St. Josephat, St. Hilary's.
So if I were to ask you how many times have you sung Ave Maria, you couldn't remember?
No.
And
it's always a wonderful prayer.
Exactly. So it was just
Can I add one other thing, too?
Absolutely.
Please, people, look at, before we get into our schools discussion, look at the back of the Chicago Catholic. Last week and this week, our Christmas schedule for Holy Name Cathedral is on the back of the Chicago Catholic. And as the Cardinal is encouraging all of us to come back to church, we're encouraging you during the Christmas season, come back to the cathedral. Come to the cathedral and worship with us.
Yeah. And again, for those that feel compromised immune system or COVID, which, by the way, Mark, COVID is back on the rise.
I know. You can see it.
There's no question. I know 4 people right now that have COVID, 2 pretty serious. Not dying. But again, it's flu season, respiratory, COVID. But if you're able to come back, as Mark said, please do.
Yes.
Mark, intro to our wonderful first half segment.
Yeah, St. Damian School hosted a culture fair. More than 100 junior high students participated in a culture fair that celebrates cultural diversity and history and offers students the opportunity to learn about their family history and other cultures. Students learn historical and cultural facts about their country of origin and also submit personal family backgrounds. This information is presented along with a traditional dish. People gather around the table and food.
Yes.
Many students dress in traditional clothing, and some students perform songs and dances from their homelands. And we welcome our guest this morning, Jennifer Germano Miller, principal of St. Damian's School. Welcome. And Gail Ware, Spanish teacher at St. Damian's School. Bienvenido.
Gracias.
Was that close? Close?
¿Cómo está?
Oh, yeah, Father Greg.
Muy bien.
Father Greg is trilingual. Yes.
Now, first of all, Gail and Jennifer, welcome to the program. And Who
Thank you.
thought of this marvelous idea?
I did. I started this in 2010, and we do it every 3 years, so the kids don't do the project twice. And I just thought it was a great idea for the kids to learn the history and about their cultures and the countries that they're learning about.
Now, is this a particular grade or the entire school?
It was our junior high, so it was 5th through 8th grade.
Okay.
Any surprises the kids learned about their backgrounds and their culture?
There were so many surprises, yes, and that's why it's important for the kids to talk to their parents or grandparents, because after reading some of this and talking with the kids, I asked them, like, did you know this? And they said no. So that alone was just awesome.
And then Jennifer, in terms of the school, what have you learned culturally in terms of the makeup of St. Damian's?
It is absolutely amazing how truly diverse we really, really are, and you don't see that. And by doing this fair and participating in this, we are truly building bridges across our cultures and our diversity, and we're embracing it, and we're really looking and we're appreciating everybody for who they are. And it's just amazing to just see this and how excited the kids get about learning and the questions that they have for the other students. We really are building bridges.
That's wonderful.
Building bridges.
That's wonderful.
Now, for Jennifer and Gail, you may not be aware of it, but Mark looked up his family tree and found out that he was the sap.
Oh. Please don't encourage him. What I know about our family tree, especially the holidays.
That's pretty funny. Our Italian grandma lived on Lil Street, and our Polish grandma lived on Altgeld, 1 block apart. So there's 7 of us. We'd all go to Italian grandma and have the foods of, the tradition of Christmas. Then we go across the alley, and we go to our Polish grandma and have all the Polish foods. What kinds of foods show up during this great event?
Oh, we had foods from Jamaica, from Haiti, from Honduras, from Greece, from Italy, Jordan, from the Philippines. It was just wonderful to see all these people gather in our gym and to see all these displays of work that their kids had worked on so hard, and then also to sample all the foods that was there and to see the performances that they did as well. So it was really, you have the kids have their work displayed and you have food. That's a great success right there. Well, everybody always, it's a great gathering.
If people are watching on YouTube, you've got the picture of one of the guards, the British soldiers.
Yes. And a young man from China. It's amazing for those on YouTube.
Yes.
These photos are phenomenal. And I'm looking at this, Gail and Jennifer. These children really got into this project.
Yes, you can see it.
The visuals, and I find I'm a visual learner, so when I see something, it hits me better than if I just hear audibly. But to see the garb, the billboards, it's phenomenal. Now, for both of you, what did you walk away with learning about the students or about the school that you didn't know before the fair?
I just as educators, and I'm sure Mrs. Ward feels the same way as I do. When you see these kids and they get this excited and invested in a project, you truly learn that they are so passionate about education, and it's just truly finding something that they're interested in that's going to keep them engaged. And we have wonderful learners here. We just all have wonderful learners, and they all embrace this. But I have to tell you something else that really warmed our hearts is it's their project. They do the work at school with Mrs. Wurr in her classes, But the amount of emails and phone calls that she received from parents thanking her for this project, and the parents coming that evening, our gym was packed. You couldn't move. We had so many people, and we had grandparents and siblings and aunts and uncles. So we just learned how truly dedicated our children and our parents are to St. Damian, Catholic education, and their cultures.
And what I find is when you get a hold of the grandparents, even in some cases great-grandparents, it's so important to talk to them because they die and part of the heritage is lost. Unless you get it down on paper, on video, and all of a sudden with grandma, great-grandma, great-grandpa, it's like, why didn't I talk to grandma or grandpa about their background? Because my background, 100% Polish. My mother's side from a little town near the Ukraine border, Kabalanka. My father's side, Białystok. And I wish I had learned more from my parents and my grandparents about the Polish tradition. So when I see a fair Mark, when I see this on the YouTube, it's phenomenal. And what also got to me was just watching the video. These children really got into the project about their background and about other cultures of their classmates, and that's how learning happens.
And so proud.
And so proud.
See the pride.
The garb, the sombreros, and the garb and the English Guard. And I mean, these kids really got into it. And I can see, just for those who are watching on YouTube, to watch you, Gail and Jennifer, as you're sharing right now, you are so fired up and energized about this. It's good to see, as educators, to see what the difference it's making for the children.
Well, and I also have to say, so Mrs. Warren and I are both 100% Italian.
Yay.
So
Yay.
We are, both of us are extremely passionate about our cultures. And, we grew up, I asked Mrs. Warren one day why she chose to teach Spanish. And she said, well, because when she was growing up, all they spoke at home was Italian. And she's fluent. And she thought how wonderful it would be to share her love of language with other students, so with other people. So I think that and when she told me about this Culture Fair project, I got so excited because I thought of, making the tsipoli on Christmas Eve with my grandmothers, and we think about those traditions in that. So it's easy to be passionate and fired up about something when you truly believe in it.
Let me give you a story, and that is my father was a broadcaster on WGN Radio. He broke into broadcasting in 1954. And everybody was saying to my father, they were saying, Sig, now that you're starting WGN Radio, two things. Number one, change your name, deny being Polish, and number two, deny being Catholic. If you want to make it in this town, this is 1954 in the 50s, they said, Sig, if you want to make it as a broadcaster, deny your heritage, so change your last name from Sakowicz to get out of the Polish name, change it to something else, and don't mention you're Catholic. And my father said, I'm Polish, the name is Sig Sakowicz, and I'm proud to be Polish, and I'm proud to be Catholic. But that was the culture in some circles in broadcasting, radio, and television. I remember that story. Mark, take us to break.
On a lighter note, there's a little vignette. My Italian grandma, Nana, we called her Nana, she never lost her accent. She was here 72 years in America, never lost her accent. And my wife, we were dating at that point, walked in and she was watching TV. Nana, what are you watching? She said, I'm watching That's My Children. That's My Children. Anyway, I haven't thought of that in years. WNDZ 750 AM, Catholic Schools Today, 312-255-8408, youtube.com/CatholicChicago. We'll continue our wonderful conversation about St. Damian and their Culture Fair with Jennifer Germano-Miller, Principal of St. Damian's, Gail Ware, Spanish teacher, and the foundress of this Culture Fair. We'll be back in a few minutes. Please stay tuned.
Catholic Charities' 75th annual celebration of giving is underway in support of those who are struggling to make ends meet every day. Individuals, families, colleagues, neighbors, parishioners, and friends purchase thousands of gifts and basic necessities to ensure Catholic Charities clients and their families have a joyful Christmas morning. There are many ways to get involved, including online wish lists that make giving easier than ever before. If you can join us in this special Chicago Christmas tradition as volunteers and donors, please email us at cog@catholiccharities.net. That's cog@catholiccharities.net. Or call 312-655-7401 in Cook County and 847-782-4210 in Lake County. Thank you for helping us spread Christmas cheer this year throughout Cook and Lake counties.
This is year 44 for me teaching. When I started here, there were teachers here that had taught me when I was a student. Now I'm the old person. Right now, I teach junior high math. I love when kids find what I'm teaching to be fun and they get it. I see that light bulb go off and it's a thrill. People are always amazed. What? You're here for 44 years? It's hard for me to believe, frankly. I love what I do. Every summer I think, oh, I miss the classroom. Even on the weekends, I think I can't wait to get back on Monday and teach those quadratic equations.
Shape the next generation of leaders. Teach. Apply today at archchicago.org/schooljobs.
Did you know that Catholic Charities accepts car donations? If you're ready to free up space in your garage and put a stop to all those expenses that go along with owning a car, we will gratefully accept your donation, whether the car is running or not. You choose a pickup time that is convenient for you, and we will make the donation as easy as possible, free of charge. You'll receive a charitable donation receipt as well. We accept all types of vehicles nationwide, and you will know that your donation is made to Catholic Charities, an agency you can trust. To learn more about donating your car, call 877-786-4483. That's 877-786-4483. Thank you.
We're back. Catholic Schools today, WNDZ 750 AM, 312-255-8408. You can go to youtube.com/CatholicChicago. Before we continue our discussion with Jennifer Miller and Gail Ware, today is the feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe, and I'd like to invite any listeners that are thinking about heading toward church to come to the cathedral at noon. Our Oblate Sisters of Jesus the High Priest renew their vows. We have a wonderful celebration. Or go to your local church for a special Guadalupe celebration. Father Greg, you were talking to the Cardinal. You want to... And
last night he had the 6 o'clock Mass at the shrine in Des Plaines. Thousands of people. He had the Mass and homily in Spanish. And today's going to be bigger crowds. They're talking... I think in excess of 250,000 people.
Yeah.
I think last year it was 400,000. And the weather isn't bad. It's drizzling out there a little bit, but it's not 5 below with a blizzard going on. So it is a huge gathering. They come from all over by horse, on foot, by car, by bus. And the police in 4 surrounding suburbs have it all marked off on getting close to the shrine in Des Plaines.
Maybe that would be this cultural event is absolutely wonderful, but / the religious devotions connected to all of our different
in fact, that's maybe a question I'd like to ask Jennifer or Gail. When you were with this cultural fair, what religious dimensions were you noticing among the children with the different faiths? Because some of the children may not be Catholic, but they have their own heritage and religious tradition. So what were you seeing with the cultural fair from the children regarding their religious background?
We begin every class with the prayers in Spanish. So the students all know their prayers in Spanish regardless of what their faith is. For the culture fair, yes, there were some that are not Catholic, and they still had to do the religious part of their project. So some like were from Jordan, and they had to, research, the religious part in their country, and Turkey. So they learned, they attend Catholic school, they do everything that we do here, but it was nice for them also to bring in their faith.
That's wonderful. That's great.
Jennifer, lest we be remiss on this, brag a little bit about St. Damian's School. Not only where you are, the programs, why you're there as principal.
So I'll tell you why I'm here. I'm here because when the pastor called me a few years ago and said, I'm interviewing for a principal position, your name came up, do you want to come on down? And I thought, you know what, I'm going to go, I'll have a conversation. I'll absolutely have a conversation. I walked on the campus and immediately knew this was my home.
Wow.
Now, were you principal somewhere else?
No, I was not principal somewhere else. So, and I wasn't quite sure if I was, I had all the coursework and all that. I thought, I don't know, do I want to do that? So, if you wait for all the stars to align, they are never going to.
Good point.
So, spent some time praying on this decision that I made, and I love it. The people are so warm and welcoming. And our families are kind and generous and always willing to lend a hand. They'll take off work if you need a volunteer for lunch duty. They will, they'll stop by. I was working one day this summer, and a mom called me and she said, "Oh, I didn't expect for you to be there. You're there in the summer? Can I bring you lunch?" I'm like, no.
Wow.
They truly do work. Our families work together with us. We're a community. We're a team. And the most beautiful thing is we do it all in the best interest of our children. We are truly a culture of joy is really what I tell people here.
Now, 2 questions, Jennifer.
Kids are kind. What?
2 questions. Who was the pastor that invited you, and how long have you been there as principal?
I have been here 4 years, and I'm very lucky. Father Joe Noonan is our pastor.
Oh, sure.
Everybody knows Father Joe.
Tell Joe we say hello.
You're in Oak Forest then, right?
St. Damian's.
Yeah. We are in Oak Forest.
Sure.
Everybody knows Father
Great
Joe.
priest. Everyone knows Father
Joe was vocation director when I was up at Mundelein Seminary, so we worked together on many things.
I've known Joe. He's a great
Give him our regards, would you?
Yeah, give him our very best. And now
I will. So
go ahead.
Father Joe right now, actually, because all the Mondays in Advent, we light the Advent wreath as a community, and I usually lead that effort, and I can't today. So Father Joe's leading the efforts with our students right now.
Oh, wonderful.
That is great. Now, Gail, your background, how'd you end up being a Spanish teacher at St. Damian's?
Well, I was a stay-at-home mom, and I was ready to go to work, and I taught religious ed at St. Damian for like 10 years. And the DRE at the time said they're looking for a Spanish teacher. I was ready to go. And we were starting school in August. And like a week before we started school, I decorated my bulletin boards, got the curriculum, and here I am.
That's a great story. How many years?
It's 19 years.
Wow.
Yeah. I thought maybe about 12 years.
I have to tell you.
Sure, go ahead.
I have to tell you, during this break she just had, she goes, I thought all weekend I've got my next project ready to go. So I don't know what March is going to bring, but she's got something in her mind.
Yeah, it's all about experiences and giving the kids experiences. They learn from that. And just like the culture fair, they not only learned about their culture, but about each other's culture. So I just think that giving them the opportunity and the experiences, it is a great way to learn.
Can you give us a hint on that project that's coming up?
Yes, I will.
But don't
we won't tell. We won't
exclusive
tell.
Here on radio.
So we celebrate all different religion, all different cultures. And I'm thinking since March is St. Patrick's Day and St. Joseph's Day, we would do something with maybe having an Irish soda bread contest, or I was thinking that we can do like the different like categories, like we can have, the Italian bread, the Irish bread, the, Pan de los Muertos. Just bring it all in.
Wow, what
that
a
is
great
good.
idea.
Now, before we bring to a close here, tell us about the upcoming field trip. Is it this week or early next week?
It's tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah. So, with my 8th graders, we every year we do Christmas around the world. So, Culture Fair is once every 3 years. So, I do it every year, Christmas around the world, so the kids learn about the different ways that countries celebrate Christmas. And we're taking a field trip to the Museum of Science and Industry to see the Christmas trees, and their projects are hanging in my hall. They look amazing, and proud of them.
Beautiful.
And we truly do work across the curriculum a lot and across the grade levels. So she has all of those projects about how different countries celebrate the Christmas season and their faith and all of that. And our 1st and 2nd graders are working on a Christmas Around the World unit in their social studies class right now. So they've taken a trip down to see our 8th graders to work together with that.
Now, in the last minute, we only have a minute to go here. So Jennifer or Gail, give us information about St. Damian's, the school, to learn more about a phone number, a website.
Yeah, I'm a parent thinking about sending. I live in Oak Forest, thinking about sending my
Mark's
kids.
really a great grandparent.
Yeah.
Well, you absolutely want to send your children to St. Damian School. You definitely do. So you can find us at 708-687-4230.
That number one more time.
708-687-4230. And you can always see us online at STDAMIAN school.org.
One more time on that, Jennifer.
STDAMIAN school.org.
Want to thank in a very special way Jennifer Germano Miller, principal of St. Damian School, and Gail Worth, Spanish teacher at St. Damian School. Jennifer and Gail, your enthusiasm and joy, is phenomenal. This was a very fast half hour. God bless to both of you. Continued joy that you're doing with the children. Boy, I'll tell you, Mark, they've got a great thing going over there at St. Damian School. So God bless, keep it up.
And give Father Joe Noonan
our
best.
Give him our very best from both of us.
We will. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Have a great day, because it's a great day to have a great day.
Exactly.
I like that, Jennifer. Gail, you should be on the radio with us.
Every day. I tell them every day.
You're listening to Catholic Schools Today on WNDZ 750 AM 312-255-8408. You can also get us on youtube.com/CatholicChicago. Father Greg Sakowicz and Mark Teresi. The time in Chicago is 8:29 on this cloudy Monday morning, our Feast of Lady of Guadalupe. Stay with us, and again, do not touch that dial.
Catholic Charities has had the privilege of helping people in need in Cook and Lake County for more than 100 years. We would like to take this opportunity to thank our frontline workers who, despite the unprecedented challenges of the past 2 years, continue to excel at their jobs every day. From the warehouse staff members who pack boxes of nutritious foods for low-income seniors, to the dedicated WIC employees who have remained open for families with children under the age of 5, to our volunteers and restaurant partners who ensure that meals are available for those experiencing hunger, to our service coordinators and our professional counselors who continue their vital work in innovative ways, to our food pantry staff, and to all those who work at Catholic Charities Call Center, finding solutions for every person who reaches out to us for help. Charity is at the heart of all you do, and we salute you.
I am a seminarian.
The church needs compassionate and well-trained priests to help guide each of us through life.
What inspires me, what draws me always to the priesthood is continue to see priests be a beacon of hope for other people.
You can play a part in the education of these young men as they prepare for a life of service to others.
I want to be that beacon of hope too, and it sets my heart on fire.
To support our seminarians, make your gift at archchicago.org/seminarian fund or call 312-534-7959.
The cemetery ministry is a core ministry of our Catholic faith tied to the corporal works of mercy. It's comforting to know that our Catholic cemeteries are caring for the remains of our loved ones awaiting the resurrection. There are 44 Archdiocese of Chicago Catholic cemeteries willing to help you in your time of loss. Call 708-449-6100 or visit CatholicCemeteriesChicago.org. Catholic Cemeteries, serving the Catholic community since 1837.
Welcome back.
Es fabuloso verlos.
Dobrze jest znowu być razem.
It's good to be together again.
After so many months apart, pandemic capacity limits have been lifted, and we want to welcome everyone back to church. We can all pray together again. And listen as our choirs lift their voices in song.
We've been together in spirit.
And now, when you are ready, our doors are open wide.
Nuestras puertas están abiertas de par en par.
Nasze drzwi są otwarte.
And we're here to welcome you back to Catholic Mass.
You're listening to Catholic Chicago. Ahead, the Archdiocese of Chicago brings you programs about the people, events, and issues that touch our lives. Thanks for letting us be part of your morning. Now again, Catholic Chicago.
Welcome back to Catholic Chicago with a special edition of Catholic Schools Today here on WNDZ 750 AM 312-255-8408. You can also get us on youtube.com/Catholic Chicago. Father Greg Sakowicz and Mark Tracy. Mark, that was a great, fun half hour.
A lot of energy.
A lot of energy.
Those kids are very lucky to have those two women in their lives.
And I'm sure the entire faculty. And it's a great, St. Damian is a great parish on the south side.
Yeah.
And a lot going on in that school. So take it away for the second half there, Mark.
Okay. St. Procopius School wins the National Spanish Spelling Bee. The fourth grade students at St. Procopius School recently received their trophy for winning a de la Tierra Tria. My Spanish is terrible. The National... That's why Father Greg had me read this. The National Catholic School Spelling Bee in Espanol. The spelling bee was hosted by the Alliance for Catholic Education, Catholic Schools Advantage from the University of Notre Dame. The spelling bee had Catholic schools compete with teams of students participating virtually in written rounds to spell contest words. Our guests today are Dr. Robert Bassett Jr., Principal, St. Procopius School, and Anna Gonzalez, a student at St. Procopius School. I am going to get that right before the end of the program, but thank you for joining us this morning on Catholic Schools Today.
Good morning. How are you doing, Doctor?
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Could you pronounce that for me, please?
Which part? The name of the school or the spelling bee?
Oh, no, not Procopius.
No, Procopius I got. The spelling
Procopius, yes. The spelling bee was deletrear.
Deletrear. Thank you.
And then...
Anna, did I get that right?
Yeah.
And Anna, you are in 4th grade?
Yeah.
You're in 4th grade. And so now tell us for a minute, Robert, is how many children from the school participated? When did this actually occur?
This occurred in approximately October, middle to the end of October. And our students, we had 8 students competing, and 9 of them were on the team. Actually, we had 1 student as an alternate, but they competed virtually through Zoom, across the country against other schools.
Wow. Now, before we get into this further, give us your own background. Are you from Chicago originally, or where'd you grow up?
Yes, I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago, actually. I attended public schools, and I went to college in Indiana University, and then I came back and received my master's and my doctoral program degrees here in Illinois.
Now, what suburb were you raised in?
I grew up in Western Springs.
Oh, sure. Was that what parish is out there? That would be
St. John of the
Cross. Oh gosh, I was raised in Park Ridge, and so you're from Western Springs. And what high school?
Yes. I went to Lyons Township.
Lyons Township, excellent. Now, just out of curiosity, when you were in grammar school or high school, when did you in your life say, "I want to give my life to education"? Did you start out as a teacher and then moved up the ladder?
It's a great question. I think it was probably in middle school and high school that I started to see myself really working with other people and children. I really enjoyed it. I taught tennis when I was in high school to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds, and I really had a passion for inspiring others and making those connections with kids and seeing that aha moment and seeing them succeed. And I really enjoyed that, and that's I think where I got my first start. And then I started to find the content that I was interested in, and then that's where I started to grow into who I was actually going to be as an educator.
How did you end up at St. Procopius?
I've had a couple experiences throughout the Chicagoland area, far west suburbs, as far west as East Aurora, and then some north suburbs. But I became an assistant principal in East Aurora, and then I moved to Summit. And it was recently that I decided that I wanted to continue to make an impact, but even on a smaller scale, and really work with some schools that I felt I could help and had a connection with. And being a bilingual speaker, almost to the degree that some of our students are, I feel, really helped build that connection. And I've always worked with our families to make sure that they're connected to education as well.
Great. Anna, can you tell us about your principal?
He's a wonderful man, isn't he?
He's very nice.
Mm-hmm.
And
You think he's smart?
yeah.
Yeah.
He's very, very smart. Now, Anna, were you in the spelling bee? Were you one of the contestants?
Yeah.
Now, was it all 4th graders? Were they all 4th graders?
Yeah, I was all 4th grade.
Then I get the impression you're very, very smart. You have to be. And the thing is, now, how did you do in the spelling bee contest? Did you do pretty well?
I did really good. I got 6 out of 6 on both rounds.
Wow. What was your favorite word that you spelled? Do you remember?
Maybe vehementemente.
Wow, I can't even pronounce it.
Can you spell it now for us?
Now spell that word for us, Anna.
Vehementemente.
Wow. And you're in 4th grade?
Wow.
And
you can come and help Father Greg with his spelling.
Which means, Anna, then you actually had 6 out of 6 in the first round and 6 out of 6 in the second round?
Yeah.
You got every word right?
Mhm.
That's
wonderful.
amazing. And tell you, that word you just gave us there was a long word.
And it was a virtual
Exactly.
contest.
And the thing is, now, when you were in the contest, did you feel nervous? Or were you pretty calm?
I was really nervous, but I was also really excited.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, you have, for those who are watching YouTube, Anna, you have a very beautiful smile. You have a very, don't ever lose that
Thank
beautiful, that pretty little smile there. And now let me ask you, Robert, was this the first year Procopius was in the contest, or has this been something going on every year?
It's a great question. Actually, this was the first year of the contest as a whole. So not only was it our first year, but it was also the first year that Notre Dame and the Alliance for Catholic Education put this together. And so we can say that we won the inaugural spelling bee, Spanish spelling bee.
Mm-hmm. How many schools participated?
I believe there were approximately 10 or 11 schools, but I think calls have been coming in to Notre Dame saying that there's other schools that want to participate next year. They want to take on the champions.
Now, are these they want to take on the champions, which happens to be Procopius? I like that. They want to take us on the champions. Sounds like football or baseball or basketball. And were there other schools from the Chicagoland area or from the Midwest?
It's a great question. They were from all across the country. I think Anna can correct me on this, but I believe that the final school that they competed against in the tiebreaker was from Texas.
Yeah.
And were these all fourth graders? Was this fourth grade level competition?
Yes, it was fourth grade across the country.
That's amazing.
So Anna, somebody's listening on the radio or watching you on YouTube, and they have, say they're your age, they're a fourth grader, and their family's moving toward St. Procopius neighborhood. Why should they come to St. Procopius school?
Why should they go to your school?
Because we do like a lot of fun activities, like the spelling bee, and we speak both two languages, Spanish and English, and it's really fun, and we learn a lot.
Wow.
Let me ask you this now. Now I'm going to put you on the spot here. Anna, spell gracias.
Gracias.
Very good.
And that's the only Spanish word Father Greg knows.
Mark, take us to break. Great job, Anna. I couldn't get you.
Very good. WNDZ, 750 AM. Catholic Schools Today, 312-255-8408. You can go to youtube.com/CatholicChicago. We'll be back in a few minutes with Dr. Robert Bassett, Principal, St. Procopius School, and Anna Gonzalez, the Master Speller student at St. Procopius
Father
School.
Greg could not stump her.
No, he spelled gracias with a T. Anyway, we'll be back in a few minutes. Please stay tuned.
Catholic Charity's 75th annual celebration of giving is underway in support of those who are struggling to make ends meet every day. Individuals, families, colleagues, neighbors, parishioners, and friends purchase thousands of gifts and basic necessities to ensure Catholic Charity's clients and their families have a joyful Christmas morning. There are many ways to get involved, including online wish lists that make giving easier than ever before. If you can join us in this special Chicago Christmas tradition as volunteers and donors, please email us at cog@catholiccharities.net. That's cog@catholiccharities.net. Or call 312-655-7401 in Cook County and 847-782-4210 in Lake County. Thank you for helping us spread Christmas cheer this year throughout Cook and Lake counties.
will always say, how can you spend your day with 3-year-olds? Seeing the changes that they go through and just the journey and how they grow, this is a very rewarding job. Even though at the end of the day, we're not the highest paid people on earth. And when I have a parent contact me and say, my child loves school, that to me, I'm setting that foundation for their love of learning, because really you are changing lives, you are molding lives.
Shape the next generation of leaders. Teach. Apply today at archchicago.org/schooljobs.
Catholic Charities' Refugee Resettlement Program has been especially busy this year, assisting individuals and families who have fled dangerous situations in their homeland, including Afghanistan and the Ukraine. The Refugee Resettlement Team helps with everything they need to start to rebuild their lives in a new country, including housing, employment, clothing, food, English classes, and referrals for legal and immigration services. The refugees are tremendously grateful for the compassion and practical help they're receiving, and they're giving back and helping each other plan for a brighter, safer future. Volunteer opportunities are currently available for those who would like to be family mentors and tutors so children and adults can practice English. To learn more about these rewarding opportunities, call 312-655-7096. That's 312-655-7096.
We're back, Catholic Schools today on WNDZ 750 AM, 312-255-8408. You can go to youtube.com/CatholicChicago. We're celebrating St. Procopius School winning the National Spanish Spelling Bee. We're here with Dr. Robert Bassett and Anna Gonzalez, a student who participated in that spelling bee
and was perfect, 12 out of 12.
Got everything right.
That's amazing.
Everything right.
Anna, I think you would beat me pretty badly. I'd be leaving the contest pretty soon. You'd be sending me home.
Now, Dr. Bassett, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Anna before the break. Why should parents consider St. Procopius School?
I think, first of all, 2 languages opens up a lot of doors for individuals, whether it be students or even older individuals. I feel like that's how I came to connect with St. Procopius, because not only did I speak English and had a background in education, but I also spoke Spanish, which helps to kind of build bridges. And that extends, I think, into our personal lives too, where we're able to kind of build bridges using language as a connection, and it builds relationships. And we have a great team of teachers here. The teachers put in a lot of effort and a lot of time to make sure that students have high quality, rigorous lessons and that prepare them for high school, no matter what language they're in, English or Spanish. And I feel like our families are also committed to. We have great families that support our school and really make it the place that it is. They build those connections as well. And we have a community of learners and a community of teachers and families that all come together. And we're just continuing to grow every year. We have waiting lists right now for 2 of our classes, and we're expecting even higher enrollment next year. And it's going to be, we're going to continue to grow and make change.
Now, where's St. Procopius located, Robert?
It's in Pilsen. We're close to 18th and Racine.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
A lot of people are familiar with Deus Ex or Talia Hall, and we're right nearby there.
And the thing is, when did you start Spanish yourself? Back is it in high school?
No, actually in middle school, I started taking classes. It was one of the electives offered at my junior high, and I continued taking it into high school because I'd already had a little bit of a background, and I thought I could just keep going. And then same thing when I got to college, I continued taking Spanish, and I used it shortly after I graduated. I was one of the few people who did speak Spanish, and so I was one of them who was called on by my colleagues and just asked, "Hey, can you help us out? You speak Spanish." And it just continued to grow. And I feel actually that every year my Spanish has grown
That's great.
stronger and stronger just because I continue to use it.
That is wonderful. Now, this being the Feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe, tell us about St. Procopius and the feast day today.
We do celebrate a lot of the celebrations and sacraments that are, part of the Catholic Church. And even this morning, we had a mass here at the church. It was at approximately 6 a.m. And they continue that with Mañanitas, where our community comes into our school actually, and they celebrate with posadas, and they sit around and they are able to reflect on their journey in their Catholic lives.
Mm-hmm.
Anna, do you know about Our Lady of Guadalupe? What can you tell us about her?
Yeah, what can you do? Now, who is Juan Diego?
So Juan Diego, he saw her, and then she told him to go tell the bishop, and then he went to go tell the bishop, but he didn't believe him, so he went back where he saw her, and then she told him to go again, and then the last time he went, he saw her again, and then he found roses, so he picked them up, and then he went to go show the bishop, and then he dropped the roses, and then on his shirt was a photo of the Lady of Guadalupe.
That is marvelous.
That is beautiful. What a beautiful way to tell that story.
You tell it better than a lot of adults that I know, and also he was picking roses. Yeah, she nailed it.
Did.
He was picking roses in December.
Maybe you could be assistant principal because you really got it together.
What about Miss Gonzalez as assistant principal to Dr. Bassett? How's that?
I think it sounds like a great title.
That's wonderful. And so, I know in the Hispanic community in Mexico, this is a huge, very, very important day. And you really, Anna, have the whole tradition and story down, and you're in 4th grade.
Yes.
That's very impressive.
It sure is. It sure is. Now, let's go back. So, Dr. Bassett, your journey with the Spanish language. Now, talk about that dual language program at St. Procopius. How does that work?
Yeah, it's actually a great model that started back in 1996. And our students start off as in preschool with 100% Spanish. And then each year kind of moves up approximately 10%. So in kindergarten, they speak 90% of the day, and their instruction is in Spanish, and 10% is in English.
Wow.
And then as they move into 1st grade, their content allocation is 80% Spanish and 20% English, and it continues up all the way to 4th grade, where it's a 50% balance and breakdown, and it continues that way all through middle school. What I feel like supports it just as much as the content and the instruction and the teachers is the families, because our families are really committed to this model as well, and they recognize that its importance, and they want to involve that and make sure that their students have that diversity, as within an inner city school, but also building upon language, where a lot of our families do speak Spanish at home or in their extended family. So it really is just a great model to follow, because it does set our students up to understand how to use different parts of their brain to continue to learn.
What's amazing is, Anna, as we listen to you, you're fluent in English, and I'm assuming, I know you're fluent in Spanish. I mean, to win a spelling bee in Spanish, not only do you speak it well, you know the words so well to be able to spell it. Let me ask you a question, Anna. In all the subjects you take in school, what is your favorite subject?
My favorite subject is science.
It's science. Now, why do you like science?
Because we do a lot of projects in science, and they're really fun.
That is great.
What's one project that you remember that was a lot of fun, but you learned a lot too?
Well, we just built a car, so we had to build it out of recyclable materials, and because we learned about electricity, so we built a car, and it was really fun.
Wow.
In fact, I did a project in science. I made Mark Tracy disappear.
You don't have to laugh at that, even if you understand it in English.
Let me ask you this, Robert. Tell us more about St. Procopius. People want to learn about the school. Give us a website. Give us an email address. Give us
Sure. Our website is stprocopiusschool.org.
Now spell that for people.
Sure. It's www.stprocopius school.org.
And the phone number?
Our phone number is area code 312-421-5135.
That number once again.
312-421-5135.
Now,
we have families that come from everywhere, and no Spanish background, all Spanish background. Our students come from all across the suburbs too. So we don't just pull within our local community. We have an extended community as well, even into Northwest Indiana.
And tell us maybe a little bit about you must have a tremendous, dedicated, diverse faculty.
We do. Yeah. We have faculty from here in the States, from Mexico, from Ecuador, from many other countries. And we utilize their skills and talents and their backgrounds to really help enhance what our students are able to experience in the classroom, because they bring in their education background and their teaching background from many years and from other locations too. And so it really is a testament to who our families are who our teachers are. And dare I leave out we have 2 faculty as well from Honduras. So
that's amazing.
Now your movement, Dr. Bassett, from middle school, high school, college, and you're now at Procopius, which is a job, but it's also a ministry.
Mm-hmm.
What's the blessing? What's the main blessing that you see that you chose Procopius and Procopius chose you?
I say that same thing oftentimes, that not only did I choose St. Procopius, but St. Procopius chose me, but I get to work with. I have the privilege to work with these great students and this great faculty, because it is not just a career, but it is a choice that we've made to commit to our students and to our school. And I feel like our school, the greatness of our school is its people, is the foundation, because it's not just brick and mortar. It's all the people that make up our school. That
I need to bring it to a close. We're actually running out of time.
Yes,
I just want to thank in a very special way.
Thank you so much.
Dr. Robert Bassett, principal of St. Procopius School, and Ana Gonzalez, a 4th grade champion spelling bee person from St. Procopius. So Dr. Robert Bassett and Ana, thank you for joining us. Special thanks to Mark Tracy, co-host. Special thanks to Yasmin Kiddos, our producer, Michael May, Brian Hakim, and Brock, our engineers. To all, God bless. Have a blessed continued Advent season.
And Feast of St. Our Lady of Guadalupe.
Amen.
Thank you. Amen.